from pickdogs.com and pickdogs.com and sportschatplace.com. Yeah, little website called Sports Chat Place. From these two sites, and of course with me, the Puck Dogs, back at our regular time. I tell you what, man, it's not my regular time. I am way off on the time zone thing. Happens to me. And of course this weekend, though, I get an extra hour. So I'm really, really excited. I got something from the t-shirt company yesterday. They sent me an invoice, and usually when they send out the invoice, that means the shirts are on their way. So hopefully they're on their way, but we'll start the promotion tomorrow. But we'll backdate it all the way to the beginning of March. But yeah, I'm a man of many hats, and I was just talking to our computer programmer there, that little stop and type, because he's building out our new premium area, our multi-capper site, where you'll be able to purchase the Puck Dogs picks, their best picks, as they, not just the morning picks either, after goalie changes and all that other stuff, and hopefully their best stuff. Certainly not mandatory. We're not going to give out much less for free than we give now. Just got to pay the bill somehow. But in any event, hopefully you guys are having a great day. I got the "you're an idiot" comment on YouTube, about 6 of them already, because Steph Curry is playing tonight. My pick doesn't change on the video, but I'm glad Steph is back. And yeah, and I got another one saying that how stupid I look in my Pick Dogs gear doing a video, Meanwhile, I'm doing a video for Pick Dogs, so I'm not really sure what else I would be wearing outside of Pick Dogs gear. I guess I could get like some golf shirts or something, which I still plan on doing. It's one step at a time. You got to prioritize when you have as much on your plate as I do right now. And speaking of having a lot on their plate, these guys always a lot on their plate. Chris, NHL, NBA, college hoops, got it all. We were just talking before the show saying how difficult this college card is. It's like we're in conference tournaments, so there is no tomorrow for a lot of these teams. We already have some teams that are eliminated. One of them was the UC Irvine Anteaters. I believe they were eliminated. Was that a tournament game that they lost yesterday? Because it certainly deserved to be. 10
no, I think it was regular season.
What's that?
I think it was regular season, but
because they deserve to be eliminated after.
Yeah. Well, one team that I knew I had a feeling they were going to cover, but I didn't think they were going to win outright. Was Wyoming?
Yeah,
against Colorado State.
We all loved Florida International yesterday too against Louisiana Tech. They didn't win, but man, they have been real good. Yeah, the premium picks have been on fire. They are not always on fire, but they have been recently. And like someone asked me on the last show, am I starting to put the picks in a little later so I have more information? I think it's a combination of things. Number one, I have a little bit more information. And number two, all of the lines are out. So it's like games that, are borderline for me just to get some beef in the premium area. I'm eliminating those. Yeah, I think we were 5-1 yesterday. And I think we've had a few days like that recently. 0-4 day. Yeah, I had one day that was terrible. I know that, but it happens. I'm man up to it. If I have a losing day, it's not like I don't show up the next day, or all of a sudden my Twitter channel is cut down. It's like I'm going to change my Twitter handle and have a new Twitter account. You guys won't know it's me. It's kind of like when wrestlers I grew up watching championship wrestling from Florida, and like wrestlers would get suspended, like they wouldn't be able to do it. So they'd come back as a masked wrestler, and you totally would know it was them. And like the whole idea is that everyone would know it's them, right? And it's like they would get unmasked or something, or like the suspension would be over and they would take the mask. It's me. It's like we could do that like with some other cappers, right? Who changed their names and changed their cartoon pictures, and we should do unmasking, or just the guys who are just, in the age of video, right? Where almost video is available to everyone. All you got to do is start a YouTube channel and start talking. Facebook does the same thing. I mean, you have to almost suspect that almost every capper that doesn't have, that doesn't do video of some kind or another, might not be a real person. I'm not saying that's the case with all of them. Some guys just can't do video, or they just, they put themselves in such a position where it wouldn't be advantageous to them. But I will say that, you're seeing more and more guys on video, and I think that we have been a big part of that. I think that getting guys on video, I've been a big part of it. I know that, because I was the first one to do it. I was the first one to do live shows. I was the first one to do video picks, and now I'm the first one to do the most video picks. I was at a social media conference. That's where I was. And these are the top social media experts in the world. These are not sports betting people. These are not sports book people. These are not these guys that you could put, the NBA All-Star team in a room, and they might be able to name LeBron James. Some of them. I mean, that's the people that I'm with, and they're great people. But one thing that all of them said, and my friends are like, I've been doing this for so long, my friends are now like the speakers and the experts at the conference. They all found out what I was doing and why I did it, when I started doing all those videos. And yeah, what we're gonna do is eliminate those comments, because what we don't do is talk about other sites on here. So if you want to talk about other sites or something, you can do that somewhere else. But anyways, what I was saying is, none of them could believe the quantity of videos that we were doing, and none of them also could believe that we could go in 5 months from 0 to 1.7 million views a month. They were like, the subscriber thing is one thing, and they all felt, even the top experts that I talked to, the top experts that I talked to were all like floored that I was doing that many videos. They weren't surprised that it was me doing it, doing that many videos. No one was surprised that it was me that was doing it, but they were all surprised that anybody would do it. It's like, how is it even possible to do that many videos? And it was cool. It's like most of you guys know, the past year, I can't get too deep into it, I've been in a bad spot. I've been, I wasn't myself, and everybody knows that. And I'm really just coming out of it, And it was good to hear from all these people out there that not only are my ideas that, some other people think are stupid or think that I'm stupid, are not stupid, and that also that all the other stuff that we do that other people hate, like giving out all these free picks, that we're doing the right thing, because we put you first. I say we do it because we put everybody else first, and then we worry about everything else, kind of takes care of itself. Yep. I gave out the blueprint, so here's, and we'll get into the picks, and we'll come back to this. But I did give out the blueprint to everybody. I was the first one to do all this stuff. I was the first one, to, even the guys from some of the other sites, like, some of these guys are my friends. Like the guys from Winners and Winers, we weren't always friends, but we are friends now. And they'll say the same thing. We just did what you did. You're the guy, you're the guy that started. You're the guy that started it all. And that's fine, but it's like, you can do what we do. It doesn't mean that you can do it like we do. And it's like, I think that's what was the common theme that, at the conference. And it doesn't matter what everybody else does. No one can do it like we do. And I think that some of the people that I used to work with are finding that out, that just because you could do it with me doesn't mean you did it. On that note, Chris, you hit the birdcage. You did it. Let's get to your first NHL picks of the day. How many of these games do you like?
Let's see here. 6. 6 of them.
How about you, Rod?
Probably about 8.
Well, start us off with your first 4 then. I know he's going
Hang
10. I know he's going 10.
If when you were playing.
No Vancouver tonight. They're not playing.
I don't have any popcorn with me either. I see. Everyone thinks the time slot is why we did so well yesterday, but I'm pretty sure it was the popcorn.
For me, I'm going Boston at the Panthers. Give me Boston here on the puck line. This Panthers teams look like they've just fallen right off the train and don't seem like they're scoring goals like they were. So give me Boston here on the puck line. And how about this Flyers team? Even though they're on a back-to-back, I think Corey Hart should start in net here. And this Canes team, and who's in net for them? Third string Zamboni driver? We don't know. So give me the Flyers here. Flyers to win in regulation, I like, plus 110. Montreal at Tampa, yuck. Montreal has just not fared so well in Tampa at all. And as Montreal, as much as Tampa's looking like they're just floating along, I think this is a game they win. Give me Tampa on the puck line here. And Pittsburgh at Buffalo. Pittsburgh's off their, they look pretty good last game. After they're losing 6 in a row, I think they're ready to go and they come here today and beat Buffalo. Give me Pittsburgh to win in regulation, minus 110.
How about you, Chris? What you want to give us your first 4?
Yeah, I like Pittsburgh in regulation as well. I know Buffalo plays their best hockey at home, but they're still not a team I'm looking to get behind, especially when Pittsburgh's going to be hungry to pick up wins down the stretch right around the corner from the playoffs. So I'll take Pittsburgh in regulation. I like Boston as well. Florida just can't pick up wins at home for whatever reason, and Boston's just starting to turn it on again. So I'll take Boston, and I like Philadelphia as well. It's like Rod said, Philadelphia's back to winning games left and right. They've pushed themselves right near the top of that Metropolitan Division, and Carolina, I don't even know who's going to start. They used both goalies last time, and I don't think both goalies are going to be the solution to their problems anytime soon. So I'll take Philadelphia on the money line as well.
Rod, what else you got?
Washington at the Rangers. Give me the Rangers, plus 120. Moneyline dog at home here. Washington played last night, and they got thoroughly beat by the Flyers. I know Washington may be better on the road, but I think Rangers are sitting there, and I think Rangers get a win. Give me Rangers on the money line. Dallas at Nashville. I like Dallas here tonight. Give me Dallas. I think Dallas goes in there and gets a win. Give me Dallas on the money line. And I'm going to keep riding these Oilers. These Oilers are looking good and playing some good hockey. They're playing in Chicago tonight. Give me the Oilers on the money line here.
So you think the Oilers are starting to really find their gear even without the guys that they picked up?
Yeah, because I think their 2 top guys are really stepping it up. And then we got a couple other key pieces, that are going to slowly start to come back off of injury, and I think they're playing, they're buying into the coach's system and playing it really well.
Well, we saw like in the NBA some of the superstars being out, like Zion Williamson. We saw Ayton out for the Suns was out for quite some time. We had for the Raptors. Oh boy,
Kyle Lowry. So
what was that, Chris?
Kyle Lowry was out.
Kyle Lowry was out. So we saw that, and then the guys came back, and it kind of disrupted the chemistry a little bit. In hockey, because of the different lines, is that like less likely to happen? Or do you think that could disrupt the chemistry of a team that's kind of starting to get it together, like Edmonton, a team that we expected it?
For me, I think it's not as noticeable because there's a system that they have in place and they play this way. But for sure, we've seen it. We've seen the Oilers. They made that three guy trade. They came their first game back when the Oilers lost their first 2 games with those guys. So yeah, you definitely have to gel a little.
What else do we got, Chris? Rod, is that all your picks?
I got 2 left.
All right, go.
Go.
Yep.
Wild at the Sharks. This Wild team's been playing really good hockey, and it's the Sharks. So give me the Wild on the money line here. I actually give me the Wild in regulation plus 125. And the last one, the Leafs and the Kings. Give me the Leafs here. I think the Leafs bounce back and give me the Leafs on the puck line over the Kings.
Chris, you want to bring it home with your last few NHL picks?
Yeah. I like the Rangers as well, plus 120 against Washington. For all the same stuff Rod said, Washington's on a back-to-back, and they were thoroughly outplayed against Philadelphia last night. So I'll take the Rangers plus money. I'm going to go with Nashville, minus 115 against Dallas. It's going to be Nashville's first game at home since the tornado hit in the Nashville area. And we've seen in stuff like this in the past. We've seen it with stuff like 9/11 in New York, and we've seen it with Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans and Hurricane Harvey in Houston. These kinds of events tend to bring people together a little bit, and sometimes people just come to these games and they just want to forget about stuff for a little while. I think that's been weighing on Nashville a little bit, and they'll want to put their best foot forward for the people that are coming out to watch them play. So I'll take Nashville at minus 115. And I'm going to take San Jose at even money as well against Minnesota. San Jose's been turning it on, even though they're really probably not going anywhere in a few weeks. And Minnesota's still not that great of a team on their own. I think they're playing above their heads a little bit, so I'll take San Jose at even money.
Yeah, we saw that with the New Orleans Saints a few years ago when Katrina hit, when they came back in the same area of the country, that Monday Night Football game. It's like, you didn't want to be on the wrong side of that one, and I think you're right. There could be a similar situation there in that one. But, yeah, we got 4 NBA games tonight. Steph Curry makes his return. He's looking at about 20 minutes of action in this one. I don't think it's enough for the Warriors to beat the Raptors, that's for sure. Got some other good NBA games, just a small amount of games. I mean, how bad is it for the 76ers? Well, this is how bad. You're underdogs against the Kings. I think when you're underdogs, 5-point underdogs, the line opened at 4.5. Inverse line movement down to up to 5. That's bad. It's like the fact that you're seen as a 5-point underdog. So you're not just bad anymore. Now everyone knows you're bad on the road. And Denver Nuggets against Charlotte. I tell you, Charlotte's been playing okay. The line has jumped from 7 to 10. I'm going to guess somebody's out. We'll have to check into that. And then the big one, the Rockets and the Clippers. I expect to see an outright war in that game. So, Chris, anything here in the NBA card that lights it up for you?
Yeah, the only game I'm really keyed in on, I like Toronto minus the 8 at Golden State. I do think the return of Steph Curry's been much anticipated. I think it's going to take a couple games for him to sort of get reacclimated with the lineup and the game speed, even if he's only playing 20 minutes. I think Toronto's going to come in and pick up a double-digit win here, so I'll take Toronto minus 8. And I like Sacramento minus 5 against Philly. Philly's just been one of my favorite fade plays on the road this season. And I know Sacramento's at home; they're maybe not on the same level, but I still like Sacramento minus 5 here. I just don't like Philly on the road at all.
How about you, Rod?
For me, I like the Raptors. Give me the Raptors first quarter, first half, full game. I think if they come in there and really lay it down to the Golden State, Steph Curry back or not. And the other one I like the Clippers. Give me the Clippers over Houston. I think they're just playing the better basketball. And the Houston team just lost to the Knicks. I ain't touching them with a 10-foot pole.
All right, well, we got kind of a difficult college basketball card. It's not all that small, but it's just tough, right? I mean, this is just a tough card. Anyway you slice it, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. I mean, you tell me. I mean, Memphis, Wichita State, I don't know. Chris said he had 4 picks on this entire card. I'm not sure how many Rod has. Rod, how many do you have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So Rod's got 5. I mean, I don't, I just don't see a lot of games here that jump off the page at me. But I do have a couple, so that's for sure. But, Chris, you want to give us your first 2?
Sure, first 2, I'll take North Carolina A&T plus 5.5 against NC Central. I know NC Central's been great at home this season, 11-0, 7-1 against the spread, but the regular season title for the MEAC's on the line here. So both teams are 12-3. This is the game to decide who wins the regular season title, and I think it's going to be a war. I see this being a game that comes down to the last shot. I see this being a 3-point game at most. So I'll take North Carolina A&T plus the 5.5. And I like Arizona State minus 6 against Washington. I think Arizona State's just a much better team playing much better basketball. And if we're only being asked to lay 6 points with a Washington team that's 1-9 against the spread in their last 10, I'll take Arizona State minus 6.
How about you, Rod?
Yeah, I'm with Chris. Give me on North Carolina A&T in a 3-point game at the most. Give me the points. Give me North Carolina A&T plus the 5. Wichita and Memphis. I like the under in that game. Give me the under 137.5. Both sides are 7-0 to the under in March. So I really like the under. I both teams can play defense, and give me the under 137.5 in that one.
All right.
Want me to give you one more?
I like a couple that I'm looking at that I didn't put in as premium picks. I like Northern Colorado against Montana. I think we're getting some good value here on Northern Colorado, who's shown the ability to get it done, not just get it done, but get it done on the road too. Montana, they're 12-1 at home, but I've seen them not look so good in spots, and I think that this is the time of year when this is when the rubber meets the road, as they say, and these are the ones where you kind of look at how they've done in some of the tougher spots, because I think every game from here on in is a tough spot, whether it's home or on the road or a neutral site. And I just think that Northern Colorado has played tougher in the tougher spots. I just think that that's the case here. They're 20-9 on the season, and I know they have of the 9, more than half of those came on the road, but they still have a winning record on the road, and they still covered spreads on the road. 17-10 against the number on the season, but 8-4 on the road. Nothing wrong with that. 8-2 in their last 10, 7-3, getting 2 points. They're going to win this game. They're going to win. I like them in that one. A couple other ones that I was looking at. This is where covering those SWAC and MEAC games that we did all season long. See, the other guys, they just jump in, and I'm not saying all the other guys, but we'll just generalize everybody. The other guys. They're just, all of a sudden they're involved because it's March Madness and it's tournament action, when we actually know these teams. And we know that Prairie View State is going to beat the crap out of Alcorn State. We know that. It's like, we know that. I mean, how is that not going to happen? 5.5 all day and twice on Sundays. Prairie View A&M, the Panthers. It's not PVAM, it's PVAMU for those just tuning in. I'm all over it. Chris, what else you got? Little Alcorn State for you?
No, I'm good. I'm gonna
Don't even say you got a side of Texas Southern going on.
No, I'm gonna stay in the Mountain West for my last 2.
No SWAC.
I'm gonna take.
You can't get your SWAC on.
No SWAC. I'm sorry, no SWAC. I'm gonna go with Wyoming again plus 10 against Nevada. I think Wyoming just knows how to play well in these non-home environments. And we saw what they did to Colorado State last night. I'm not sure they win another game here, but I think they can at least keep it within 8 or 9 points. So I'll take Wyoming plus the 10. And I like the over 143 in New Mexico, Utah State. I just think it's a relatively low number. I mean, Utah State will probably pour in 80 or 90 points against this porous New Mexico defense, and I think at least New Mexico can put up 65 and at least contribute to the total. So I'll take the over 143.
That sounds like a reasonable play. Rod, what do you got?
I'm with you on the Prairie View one. I like that one. I also like how could you not take that one? It's like, oh, that one jumped out pretty good. I was like, oh, I like that one.
Which one is it?
This one I like here too. Give me Evansville at Valpo. Give me Evansville plus the 7.5. Evansville 7-1 ATS their last 8. Both they played twice already this year, and both games were decided by 2 points that they played. And you say you're going to give me 7 points with Evansville here? Yeah, give me Evansville plus the 7 points. I'd be down to a 2-3 point game again.
What do you guys think of this Wyoming-Nevada game? Because Chris gave us Wyoming yesterday. They ended up winning outright. They were getting about 600 points, and they won the game outright. This is the kind of that tournament thing where it's like Nevada didn't have to play yesterday, so they were sitting, and now Wyoming on the back-to-back. But this is kind of like how teams get hot in these tournaments. You got Steve Alford laying 10 points against a team that kind of is feeling it now for the first time this season. It's like I know we sat out for 4 months and just hung out around the basketball court and shot around, but now they're going to tell us we're going to have to go back to school if we lose. Any chance Wyoming at least makes a game of this thing tonight?
Yeah, that's why I had them on my board. I think they do keep it within that 10-point number. Nevada's got talent. They haven't fallen off like I thought they would when Musselman left. They lost the Martin twins, but I just still think this is too big of a number for Nevada. This could be another game that comes down to the last couple minutes. It's maybe a 5-point game.
So
you look at that same kind of concept. Isn't Air Force playing San Diego State? They won last night too. But I think I'm going to give you San Diego State in that one.
Yeah,
I don't see Air Force
tough. They're just tough.
Yeah, I don't see Air Force pulling another like they did yesterday. No thanks. Give me San Diego State. I think they're ready to roll.
How about Howard against Delaware State? Where do you even begin with a game like this? It's like Howard 3-27 on the season, 2-12 at home. So it's not like they've exactly flexed their muscle there. Meanwhile, Delaware State comes into this one very strong 4-25, not just 4-25, very strong 4-25. They are 1-13 on the road though, so 2-8 in their last 10. So riding all kinds of momentum here. Howard's got the 1 win in their last 10 games. They got a line on this, so someone's betting it. Howard's actually favored here with the worst record, but maybe they just have the worst record because they haven't played Delaware State enough. I've always said, for the last 13 years that Delaware State gets their men's basketball team. They find them at the student union, around lunchtime.
You put in a ballot as you're walking around campus, and they draw 5 lucky winners.
That's what they do. I mean, you can't be that bad for that long, It's like it's an amazing thing. I think that's how you find a straight avoid,
You say they're flexing muscle in that game. All I picture is from Space Jam where Bugs Bunny flexes the muscle.
It's like, but this is, we get into some of these games, and this is kind of the end of the road. North Florida up against Lipscomb. Lipscomb not bad. We've been riding North Florida all season, but Lipscomb not bad. 8 seems a little high in that game. I like North Florida to win. I think 8 is a little high for me. And
usually the number's been around 3 or 4 with North Florida.
Yeah, that's what I would think. 3, 4, even 4.5. But 8, No way, man. Lipscomb 8-2 in their last 10 and 7-3 against the number in the last 10. We know North Florida 9-1, 8-2, but that just means that it's probably going to be a tighter game. Michigan 17.5 against Nebraska, man. I took Nebraska at home against Ohio State the other day. I got crucified, and a lot of times I just get crucified for the sake of getting crucified. I deserved it, It's like I earned that one, Who in the
If
hell
you look,
takes Nebraska against Ohio State?
How many wins does Michigan State have, or Michigan have by 18 points? Not very many, I don't think.
They don't win a lot by that many.
No. Maybe once, twice, maybe this year at the most. Yikes. I think that's too many points. I think you just take Nebraska just for taking Nebraska. Minus 17 plus the 17.
Anyways. So, all right. Anything else on this card for you guys? Any other games you want to talk about? Anything our audience wants to hear? Let's see what our audience has to say. We'll go through it real quickly. We got a couple minutes we can burn. Thank you guys for tuning in every day. Our show is about you. We might be the ones on the camera talking about giving the picks, but really, our show is about you guys. It's about our community and everyone showing up, I think that, part of it is that, we show up every day regardless of what our record was the day before. I mean, Chris, he kept plugging away. He finally hit the bird cage, and it was kind of like his first day on the show where he had a bad day, and then ever since then, it's kind of been pretty smooth sailing. And I'll tell you, I lost my first pick I ever gave out on video too. And most people say, yeah, you've lost every game since too. But it's like, I know there are people out there that will say that, but I don't really care. But it's like, you guys show up every day too, and it's like we always have room for one more. It's like always. So we don't tell you, go tell your friends and go tell your family. You got to just do it, and other people find us. I'm just looking through these comments, see if there's anything here. Thank you. Thank you, guys. You guys are too kind. I am the original. That I will say. I am the original. Show yesterday, a lot of people like that late show. A lot of people like the late show.
Yeah.
We had, it was unannounced, and it wasn't even at the time that we said it was going to be. And we still had a pretty good turnout. I don't want to eliminate this show, though. Maybe we just add another show. Will we have anything to talk about? I really think that's the question, if we do too. Did you hit your parlay, Mitch? Yes, I did. On the website, I did. The YouTube parlay, I did hit it. I hit Mitch's college parlay. The one with the double senior night plays. Kings Nuggets. I really like the NBA capping closer to game time. I agree with you on that one. NBA, it's like you never know. Late time show could be great for NBA and NHL lines. It's true. Maybe that's what we do. The thing is, with baseball, a lot of the games are going to start early, so we're going to have to do it, at our regular time.
By that time, NHL, we usually have a goalie listed going, and then you got, I think CDC a whole pile of money coming in. I think Vancouver was huge favorite, and they went to dogs yesterday. Already jumped all over Arizona, but see why.
Chris, when does Major League Baseball season start?
March 27th.
So the answer to this question is March 27th.
Sorry, no, 26th.
March 26th. That's when we will start that. Over 6 wins and the under is 3 losses for Rod's picks on the show.
What was it? Over 6 and under?
Over 6 and the under is 3.
Oh.
Best player is back to the league. I think the best player is clearly Kawhi Leonard at this point. It's all a matter of opinion. Minnesota's playing. Do college. We did. No more spread knowledge. I did spread knowledge. I did a show today. I did at 9:30 every day. Houston LA Clippers under. Yeah. Hey, don't give out my picks. What the hell is that? You guys can say almost whatever you want, but don't give out my picks. I hate that. It's not fair, man. It's like that.
Oh, it's that question in the group too. Well, what were his picks? Well, go watch the video, man.
Yeah. I give you one warning on that, man. You get one warning. Don't give out my picks. Give out your own picks. People want my picks. They're pretty accessible, you know? That's all I have to say on that. Yeah. It's like, you want my picks? It's like, they're way accessible. I don't know what Shane is saying there. It's not our Shane. It's a different Shane. I don't know what this guy's saying. I don't understand when people say this. What do you mean? What does that mean? Does that mean you want our pick on that, or you're giving out your pick, or you want a show to say Oregon? I have no idea. Chris, what do you think? What does this mean?
When I know, I'll get back to you.
How about you, Rod? Is this his pick, or is Rod is actually, of us, Rod is the one who's most immersed in the community and is most familiar with YouTube chat during shows than any of us. Oregon over, is that his pick, or is that he wants our pick?
Is that what he said? Well,
it says Oregon over.
Oregon over.
What, like Oregon's done?
I don't know. That could be over. I like eggs over.
That sounds like that sounds like he's giving his pick and saying I like Oregon over.
Oh, then why is it? What is it? What ILIKE? That would be 5 keystrokes for some clarification. Sounds like a lot of work.
Well, 6 with the space bar.
Oh, man. Yeah, if you have opinions like that, you should be in our Facebook group or start your own channel is a good place for it. A birdcage is just a 3-team parlay. Yeah, it's time for this guy to go, actually. It's like, definitely seen Delaware State team at the casino across the street. There was camp from their campus a couple weeks ago. Who's the best or easiest one pick today? The easiest pick. I wish, man. Any questions here? Portland State, keep rolling. I did a video on that game. Chris killed it yesterday. Jed Barton. There you go. Thank you. Thank you guys for all the compliments. You should, you could sign up for notifications. There's one. What do you guys do when you can't stop losing? I just keep doing the same thing that I do. Because I know over time it will smooth itself out. I had, like, when I first started doing the parlay videos on Pick Dogs, because I was doing my dog of the day on Pick Dogs, but for me, dog of the day is just always sports chat. It is sports chat place, is dog of the day. And I just will never be able to get away from it as long as I'm running sports chat place. And I'll tell you, after last year, it's going to be for a long, long, long time. But I just can't get away from the dog of the day at sports chat, and that is, and I just think the Pick Dogs parlay is what will be the cover of the Pick Dogs, at least for the time being, and the dog of the day goes to sports chat. But when I can't stop losing, I just keep doing the same thing. The stuff that's worked for me over time, because it will eventually start working again. Someone just said that my premium picks were 4-1-1 and 5-1 and all that other stuff. Yeah, but there was also an 0-4 day in there. There was also a day where I was 0-4. So it's like, just because it didn't work one day, just meant a bounce didn't go my way. That's sports betting. That is what it is. It's going to happen. I mean, I had, during baseball season, one year, I hit the dog of the day. And a lot of you guys know this on Sports Chat. I hit the dog of the day 40-something times in a row. I was on like a 45-game winning streak on the dog of the day. Like a tremendous one. And I've had people comment on my dog of the day where I've been so cold, this guy never wins. So it just goes to show you, if you stick with whatever, over time you will eventually. It does work. As long as you find a winning system. If you just bet favorites, if you just bet overs, you can win. You just have to be super selective in those. You can't just bet all the games and bet all the favorites. You can't just bet all the games and bet all the overs. You have to be super selective and cherry pick and find out what the criteria is for what you pick those games. But everybody goes through losing streaks. The very, very best. You can ask, if we could get Billy Walters on this show ever. I don't think he even does this stuff anymore. I know he was away for a little while, but I believe he found religion and is not going to do sports betting anymore. But I believe that even if we asked him, he would say he's hit cold streaks. I think Dinky, who does one of the best hockey handicappers in the world, I believe he's hit cold streaks. Everybody has. So, you just stick with what you're doing and play your way out of it. Just like a hitter, we've seen baseball hitters, that go into slumps. Didi Gregorius, right? He had that big slump. He just kept doing. He refined a few things, kind of got back. What I find is that when I get into cold streaks is when I get out of my routine. I'm Mr. Dog of the Day, and all of a sudden I'm only betting favorites. So
I've had that happen. You start looking, and you're like, "Ooh, I like that one."
Yeah,
Ooh, I
it's like
that one.
all of a sudden you're out of your routine, and it's like and before you know it, Howard's got a shot here laying 17. It's like,
yeah. I think my whole list, I was like, "Ooh, I like that. I like that," and then you were like, "Holy, Mr. Favorite today," and then it never even include. You just was like, "Oh, I like that."
Yeah, you don't even realize it happening.
Yeah. Hey, he just ran back out the door. Sorry.
Anyways, we're running out of time here. I'll keep going quickly.
I look over the little puppy. He goes, I'll go back out the door.
The viewers are not selfish. The viewers just want what they want, and we're just here to supply that. It's just at a certain point. I have that game as a premium, the UNLV Boise. Any opinion for you guys on that?
What was the line? I just closed it.
I did a video on this game. You could check it out on the channel.
You know what? It's semi-home game for UNLV. I'll take UNLV.
Yeah, I like UNLV too.
They've been hot.
Yep.
This is the time of the season where you can kind of throw out a lot of the full season stats and just look at the last 10, 15 games, since New Year's on. That's what I do at this point in the season. Man, we got a lot of comments today. I thought I would just go through the comments. It would take just a couple minutes. Thank you, Chris, for yesterday's sweep.
Glad I could help.
Yeah, a lot of people remember that streak that I had. You can bet all favorites. I know people that bet only favorites and only overs, and they win. It's just you have to be selective.
Selective.
You just have to be selective. You can't bet every game and pick the favorites, especially in March in college basketball. Especially, man, because there is no tomorrow. Even for Howard and it's like there is no tomorrow. Delaware State, there is no next game. It's like there's nothing to save it for, and it's like that. It's kind of like no one wants to go home. It's like no one wants to go home. Absolutely. If you have a losing day, you get the next day free. You just send me an email. Much cheaper. Money management, I think it's overrated. But I think it's important, but I think it's overrated. Some people think it's like the most important thing. But I've gone crazy, and have won. I often talk about it on this show that the more I see the public on a game, the more times I bet it. And sometimes I lose track, and accidentally. I accidentally backed into winning $48,000. It's happened. It's happened on this show. It happened on this show last year. March 5th is Chris Appreciation Show.
Okay.
Thank you guys for following us. I hear this all the time. Inspiration. I mean, to me, that's like, that's what it's. It's humbling. Even me, Yep. A lot of people remember that heater. It was about 3 years ago. It's like I've had other heaters, but I've never had a heater like that one I'm talking today. It was like over a month. It was crazy. And it was like it was like one of those things where it didn't matter what I picked, it was winning. It was like that's how I got all. People ask me, how'd you get all those Twitter followers? It was then. Keep this show in its slot and a recap or final calling is. We don't do recaps, but we could do. All right. Speaking of recaps, Chris.
All right. So let's start on the ice. The games I'm looking at for today: Pittsburgh in regulation -120 against Buffalo, Boston -145 against Florida, the Rangers at +120 against Washington. Philly -130 against Carolina, Nashville -115 against Dallas, and San Jose at even money against Minnesota. My three-team, three-way birdcage, all in regulation: Pittsburgh, Boston, and Philadelphia at +682. NBA, I like Toronto -8 against Golden State, and Sacramento -5 against Philadelphia. College hoops. North Carolina A&T +5.5 against NC Central. Arizona State -6 against Washington. Wyoming +10 against Nevada, and over 143 New Mexico Utah State. I'm going to take those 4 games. I'm going to put them round robin parlay style. So that again is North Carolina A&T +5.5, Arizona State -6, Wyoming +10, and over 143 New Mexico Utah State.
Rod.
All right, we'll start with NHL. Give me Boston on the puck line. I like the Flyers to win in regulation, +110. Give me Tampa Bay on the puck line. I like the Penguins to win in regulation. Give me the Rangers on the money line. Dallas on the money line. Oilers on the money line. Wild on the money line. Leafs on the puck line. My three-way birdcage. Give me the Flyers to win in regulation. The Penguins to win in regulation, and the Oilers to win in regulation. Should give you about a 9-1 parlay there. NBA, give me the Raptors first quarter -2.5, Raptors first half -4, Raptors full game -8, and give me the Clippers. I think it was -1 last I seen. Give me the Clippers -1. College basketball. Give me North Carolina AT&T +5. I like Wichita at Memphis under 137.5. I like Evansville +7.5. I like San Diego State -17.5. I like UNLV. Three-team college basketball birdcage for me today. Give me Evansville +7.5. North Carolina AT&T +5. And Prairie View -5.5.
Hopefully you guys took in all that information. It has been straight money. Anyways, 3-team moneyline birdcage. Northern Colorado, Youngstown State, UConn. All dogs, all on the money line. That's my 3-team moneyline birdcage parlay. Let me get the guys back in. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks for all your comments and questions. I think a lot of people will are super complimentary to me and the guys and the Puck Dogs. But really, like I said, this show's all about you, and it's like hopefully every time we talk about this bet that we made or this thing, it's like something that the reason why I go on some of these tangents. It's kind of like hopefully stuff that you can relate to. And like I said, I think we're on the right track. We have a lot of new things coming. I have a lot of stuff that I do behind the scenes that you guys never see and wouldn't even know. You kind of just think everything appears by magic, and that's okay. Totally fine. But there is a lot that goes into it, and I think you guys are really going to be excited about some of the stuff that's on its way. Anyways, thanks guys again. We'll talk about doing an afternoon show as well, and see if see if these guys want to do it or how we could do it. But I don't want to do too much, but I want to do. It's like if people are going to tune in, then we'll do it. But it's like if we're going to have 20 people watching, I don't want to do it. It's like I don't know how I see people on other live shows with 2 people watching the live show. A serious number, 2 people watching, and it's like, why bother? Why bother showing up? It's like you could do one-on-one private coaching. It would be less time and effort. Have a great day, everyone. On that note, I'll see you guys later, and we're going to talk about maybe starting a new show next week. But the thing is, I believe with the NCAA conference tournaments is probably something where we could do some live, because I plan on going live at halftime a lot of these games, and throughout the NCAA tournament coming on live a lot. So, see you guys later.